Pine64 builds some really cool Linux-based open hardware, like the Pinebook Pro and the Pine phone. But did you know that they also make an open source, hackable smartwatch? It's called the PineTime, this one's mine, and it's totally dead. So today, let's see if we can't take this thing apart and find out what's wrong with it. And to do that, we're gonna need some heat, so stay tuned. And if you enjoy taking things apart and only occasionally putting them back together, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I bought this PineTime with my own money and I was super excited to try it out. I've been getting a bit tired of the old Apple Watch and how much this actually knows about me and how much data it's sending off to potentially unknown sources, so I deactivated it. And these PineTimes, shockingly, they cost like $30, and the technology in them is pretty incredible. So on paper, this Pine Watch is everything that I could possibly be looking for and nothing else. It worked when I first got it, the display was absolutely beautiful, great viewing angles. Did I mention this cost like $30? It's one of the reasons I'm not too upset that it immediately died. But that is the big caveat of this thing. It's not really a device intended for the average consumer. These are intended for hackers who want to mess around with them and try to flash new operating systems for them, write new operating systems for them. In fact, there's a really cool MicroPython-based environment that you can build and tweak and do all sorts of fun stuff with. That's actually what I wanted to try the most. It doesn't even have to talk to your computer. When I first got it, I just turned it on, put it on, and it started tracking my steps and heart rate, never even needing to connect to a PC. But unfortunately, I flashed a new version of the firmware on here. It worked for like 5 minutes, it shut off, and then it never turned back on. And look at that, it's even smaller than an Apple Watch. Better in every respect. So what I read about this thing is if it happens to freeze or crash and won't turn back on, well, what you're supposed to do with the sealed version is wait about a week for the battery to run out, at which point it will reset itself and hopefully boot back up. There's also a developer version of this where if that happens, you just disconnect the battery, but they're sold out of those, so I had to buy the sealed consumer version. But really the only difference between the sealed and the unsealed hacker version is the sealing to keep dust and water out. You can see the seam right here. And the way to open this up, as I've read, is to just take the watch band off, hit it with a little heat around this seal, and pry it open with a screwdriver. So that's what we're going to try to do. I want to see if we can just disconnect the battery in here and reconnect it. So I've got the good old heat wand out, and we're going to try to not ruin this. Although I suppose if we do ruin this, or if the battery explodes or something, hey, that'll make for good content, and then you'll know what not to do. Win-win! Getting rid of your big tech devices for privacy-centered alternatives is one part of the privacy puzzle, but another part can be today's sponsor, Obscura, the world's most private VPN. Dang, I'm 2 for 2 with good Obscura segues. Now, I'm old enough to remember hearing about the dangers of using your real name on the internet. Boy, those times have changed, huh? Now it seems like we're all just an amalgamation of data points, and not even just for shady companies anymore. Now we're gonna have to send 53 of our data points in a rectal scan just to prove we're old enough to use social media. Well, friends, I'm trying to minimize my data points, and I think you should too. And Obscura hits every point that matters to me. First, it's open source. Pretty good. View everything right in GitHub, and the code has been independently audited. Pretty nice. Second, Obscura goes to rather extreme lengths to protect your identity. Unlike a traditional VPN, Obscura's architecture means that while Obscura knows your identity, i.e. you have to log in to use it, they can't see your traffic. Only the exit node can, but the exit node can't know your identity. So these two data sets simply can't be correlated. Sounds pretty good. Obscura also resists VPN blocking, and it can work where other VPNs fail. You don't even need to link your personal email to your Obscura account. The less data points on you, the better. And in my view, Obscura does this the best, even amongst all the other VPNs I've tried. So if you want to try a true privacy-first VPN, go to obscura.com/action and get 25% off your subscription, or use code ACTION. This of course is linked down in the description below. Thanks again Obscura for sponsoring today's video. Alright, step 1. Heat-resistant rubber mat. At least I'm pretty sure it's heat-resistant. Now, of course, I didn't actually read how to take the watch band off, but how hard can it be? I've got tools everywhere. Ooh, nailed it. You just push this little guy up and then over. Ooh, very nice. All right, let's turn on our heat. Got a bunch of screwdrivers. Actually, let me see what people actually heat this up at. All right, well, the instructions that I was reading just say, heat the watch up until it's almost too hot to hold. And those are exactly the kind of super scientific instructions I love to follow. So I'm just gonna guesstimate 212, 795, 820. I'm gonna go with 212. All right, well, I guess let me know in the comments down below if you think we're about to hilariously ruin this thing, because we are about to get hot. Oh yeah. Starting to smell like hot plastic. Yes. Oh, look at that. We've got watch guts. Before I start poking at this, let's pull out one of our microscopes. Yeah, so the name of the game is Lift Without Puncture. So I've got this little chip lifter here, which I think should do the job. And battery is out. Just a bit of sticky double-sided tape. And it is soldered on there, so I guess we should bust out a multimeter and see if there's actually still juice in this battery. All right, let's see here. Positive, negative. Well, it doesn't seem like there's any juice in here. Maybe that's what killed it. All right, well, I guess we are desoldering a battery today. Who knew? Actually, I had a suspicion. Boy, this thing is tiny. All right, let's have a little peek under the old microscope. See if we can't find any damage. Maybe something exploded, dead component. Where's the system on a chip? Yeah, all these passives look fine. Yeah, it looks pretty good, I think. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy who bought a microscope on Amazon. Yeah, all this looks pretty good. I don't see any scorch marks or exploded gubbins. Maybe if we just give this 5 volts from somewhere, it'll work. Oh, there's the system on a chip. Look at it. Oh, it's glorious. Okay, let's take a moment to just set expectations here, because I just soldered 2 relatively thick wires to 2 absolutely tiny pads in a smartwatch under the probable delusion that I can somehow get this to work again. But let's put 3.7 volts through these 2 wires and see if this screen lights up. Oh, this is starting to feel dangerous, but in a fun way. We need 3.7-ish. Ooh. 3.70, right on the nose. This is, of course, a laptop power supply, but I've got this handy attachment, so we are going to turn this off. All right, it's off. We'll connect it. All right, 1 connected, 2 connected. Oh, feeling nervous. Do you feel nervous? Let's reapply power. Oh, I thought it would do something. Oh, too many volts, too many volts. A little over 3.7. Yeah. Come on, live. You can live. I have faith in you. Well, I do believe something else has gone wrong. No sign of life. Oh, wait, it's doing something. Look, the screen's lighting up. However, briefly, when power is applied. Come back to life. Does it not like not having a battery? Maybe a little twist? Something loose? Oh my god, it lives! No frickin' way. All right, I had the button pushed in, and then I applied the power. Let's try that again. Button pushed in. Chompy chompy. It wants to live. It wants to live. Okay, I figured it out. I just didn't have enough wire wrapped around these alligator clips. It wasn't making a good connection, but now it is, because I put a crap ton of wire wrapped around them. Check this out. Holy crap. It's freaking alive. Look at that. We're powering this thing with a laptop power supply. 3.78 volts. It's frickin' booting. Holy smokes. You know what? I take it back. I'm not upset at all that this thing died. In fact, I'm having a lot of fun right now. Let's see if this boots all the way. Oh, it's alive. It's a watch. Look at that. And look, you can kind of see what I was talking about with the features of this thing. It has a step counter. It has all kinds of apps built in. I don't think it's happy about not having a battery. But yeah, look at this. You can do a heart rate monitor. We don't have the back connected, of course. You can control music. You can do a stopwatch. Oh my goodness. You can do like a clock. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, even more. Look at that. This thing can give you access to navigation. Did I mention that this costs $30? Well, okay, true. You might have to take it apart because your battery is borked. That's what happened to me. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe the charger is borked. We should try reconnecting the battery. Or I wonder if there's just supposed to be voltage across these two pins all the time. Okay, now that we know this thing actually still works, I feel like we can start dreaming again. So we can take a look at some of the stuff that I want to do with this smartwatch. First being PineTime, and I want to install the latest PineTime open source firmware because that gives us all kinds of fun stuff, like we can use Gadget Bridge on Android and InfiniLink on iOS, which is what I have set up. Although I'm kind of getting sick of my iPhone at this point. Maybe I should buy a Pine phone. Oh my god, I'm still wearing my goof goggles. All right, let's see. We can also, the LCARS interface, PineTime, Micro, Python. This is it, WatchOS. And look at all the fun that we can have with this. Not only does it have more games and stuff like Snake on your watch, oh yeah, but all kinds of interface goodies. Let's see, WASP OS LCARS. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, it looks amazing. This is absolutely what I want on my watch. It's LCARS from Star Trek. Yeah, look, it can give you all kinds of notifications like a WhatsApp message, steps, the weather, right on the clock face. I mean, what do we need an Apple Watch for? This is $30. Did I mention that? $30. In fact, what I think I want to do is buy another one of these sealed watches, $26.99. Yeah, I'm going to buy another one of these sealed watches to use as an actual watch, and then the one that we just took apart, I'm going to leave that taken apart and use that for development, because what I'd really like to do is create my own watch faces using MicroPython. And in fact, to create a whole, basically, application, I guess. We can do all sorts of stuff. It's open source, totally hackable, not advised to wear PineTime during shower and swimming, especially not if you rip the back off of it. Okay, so I did decide to go and place an order for a second one, so I have a brand new $26 some odd Pine watch coming, and I think what I'm going to do until it gets here is store this one away because this will be my development unit. And also once the new PineTime gets here, I can test the charger on that one against this one to see if maybe I just got a bum charger or if it really is that battery that's dead. But yeah, this thing does work when you apply 3.7 volts to it. And now a little bit of real talk about why I got a PineTime in the first place. I decided to take my privacy a little more seriously with these smartwatches after downloading an iOS app for fitness that gave me a lot of options of what types of things it was able to track, ostensibly to let me turn those things off. But there was some really creepy stuff that they can figure out just using your biometric data. I won't go too in detail here because this is a family-friendly show, but it's not good. So actually, in the meantime, I've been wearing this pretty cool Sputnik commemorative regular old analog watch. You know what? This thing tells the time just fine. It looks pretty cool too. So yeah, if you are in the market for a smartwatch and you don't want it watching you, PineTime seems like a pretty good choice. If you're handy with a soldering iron, I guess. I'm sure I just got a bum unit. In any event, that'll do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see the weird stuff I'm going to do with my PineTime once I get the new one, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And thank you very much for watching. And I just want to give a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and channel members. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for supporting me and supporting this channel and all the weird stuff I do. I am so very grateful, and I just could not do this without you.